Please welcome this week's special guest, Dennis. So, Chris, what is Dennis to you?
This is Dennis. We once staged a burglary to cover up for the fact that we'd been bunking off school.
Sarah, how do you know Dennis?
This is Dennis. He's the park gardener who came to my aid when my legs turned to jelly mid-run.
And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Dennis?
This is Dennis, or as I call him, Squeaky Diesel. I always fill up at his petrol station because his unbelievably high-pitched voice always cheers me up.
So there we have it. Is Dennis Chris's burglary buddy, Sarah's gardening angel, or Lee's falsetto friend? David's team, where would you like to start?
So, Chris.
Yes.
The two of you staged a burglary.
Yes.
Explain how that helped cover that you were bunking off school.
Well, because when we bunked off school, it was cold sometimes.
Yeah.
So you had to go into a house.
Yeah.
So we went to Dennis's house.
OK.
And the key wasn't where it normally is.
Dennis's house is locked.
Yes.
Why didn't you then try your house?
Because my mum was in.
OK. Good answer.
So I climbed the drain pipe to get in the house.
Right. So what...
Because there was only a window open, sorry, on the second floor.
And you got in that way
well,
successfully, or not?
No, not successfully.
OK.
To try and get the window latch down, which is down there, with my hand, my knees have gone through the window.
Right.
Did it draw blood?
No. Everything shattered that way.
Shattered that way. Was it made out of windscreen glass?
So I went downstairs to let...
Why hadn't Dennis...
Do you remember his name? Your old school friend?
Why hadn't Dennis... It's Dennis's house. Why were you having to do the climbing?
Good question. Yeah. I know why, because Dennis...
Don't say it like you've just thought of it. You've got to act in this show.
Right. Dennis climbed up the drain pipe first.
Right.
Right? But his arms are not as long as mine. So when he put his arm through the long latch window, he couldn't quite reach it.
So, you climb in, you go downstairs, you let Dennis in. What happens then?
Well, we then realise Dennis is going to be in trouble with his mum and his dad when they get home from school. So...
Were they at school as well? were they slow learners?
They were teachers.
Or they were teachers? At the school that you went to?
Not at our school, no.
So what do you do then?
So Dennis came up with this great idea of making it look like a robbery. So he said, let's break into the gas meter.
Murder a postman. Scatter his body parts around.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
I think he used the screwdriver. Flicked up the corner flap, put his hands in and got the 50p's out, and then we were gone.
What did you do about finding somewhere warm to... Did you use the 50p's to get a hotel room?
All right, who next, David?
Sarah.
Yes?
Tell the story of your encounter with Dennis.
I'd been out drinking alcohol with friends. I was over 18 and it was fine. But my friend had given me this advice that if you exercise first thing in the morning, you sweat it all out and then you feel you don't have that hangover thing. So I ran from my house to the park and then I was just starting to go round in a loop and I was going to be so ill. I just kept thinking, be sick in a bin. No, don't be sick in a bin. And I was really desperate for water. And anyway...
This is like listening to Paula Radcliffe.
I was so concentrating on not being sick, I didn't realise my legs had gone to liquid. And then I just had my face in the grass. And I was thinking, I'll just stay here, hopefully. Everyone will think I'm a dead body.
And what did Dennis do?
Well, Dennis came over and took my pulse. So that I could kind of feel...
Bit sinister.
So did you say...
No.
What was Dennis doing in the park? Was
He works there, he's a park gardener.
He's a park gardener, like
Greenwich
Percy the
Park.
Park Keeper.
Percy the Park Keeper?
You've not read that?
No, have you?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a children's book.
Why are you reading it then?
Because I'm a father.
He's got to have something to do when he's allowed to see them on a Friday.
So he's taking your pulse. What happens then?
Well, he kind of took me up and walked me to a bench and then went and got me some water from the little hut where he works.
A lovely man.
I'm going to write a series of kids' books. All about him.
Not sure it's the right market.
Dennis the Menace has got a different ring to it now.
Right, what about Lee?
Lee is Squeaky Diesel. So where is this petrol station?
It's about a mile from my house.
So it's also convenient.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not so high-pitched that I'd drive to Harrogate.
OK, fair enough. Can you give us an impression of how...
Well, I could try and do an impression, but
Obviously, it won't be as
I find
good as...
impressionism is for the lowest form of entertainment.
Should I play you? Like, if I be you in your car, would that help?
Can you do impressions of me? Can you...
Oh, all right, I'm Lee Mack. The Diesels run it too. Look, everyone thinks it's great.
It's good with the way you said, I'm Lee Mack,
That
because
helps a
that
lot.
clarifies who you're trying to be.
Did you come up with the name Squeaky Diesel?
I was that one, yes.
And does Dennis know that?
He does now.
But he didn't before.
No, he has no idea what he's doing on the show tonight. I just told him, come along, I've got a free jumper for you. You know what he said? It's very kind, thank you very much. Squeaky Diesel.
OK, one question, this might trip you up.
OK.
Does your car take petrol or diesel?
It takes petrol.
Got him!
I just didn't think Squeaky Petrol had the same sort of scan to it. It just sort of... It felt Squeaky Diesel just sounds nice.
What do you think, Tom?
It seems so unlikely that Lee's car runs on petrol, not diesel. It so undercuts the truth of what he's saying that I think it's probably true what he's saying.
So, we need an answer. David's team. Is Dennis Chris's burglary buddy, Sarah's gardening angel, or Lee's falsetto friend?
Tom, what do you think?
Now, what do you two think?
Well, I was very taken with your Lee...
But making such a bad mistake, wasn't it?
But Sarah didn't like it when we were taking the mickey out of Dennis. Maybe that...
There was a bit of feeling there,
Yeah, a
wasn't
bit
there?
like, genuinely,
But-
this man has helped
Yeah,
me
but
in the
she
park.
But maybe it was just, you know, acting.
If it turns out you're lying, Sarah,
Yeah.
Tom thinks you're a good actor.
Yeah.
If you're telling the truth,
Oh.
he can take or leave your performance.
I mean, I, personally, the one that rang true the most was Cammy's, I felt.
Really?
Yeah, did you not?
Really? No. No, I didn't.
I've just ruled out Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
Well done. Beautiful acting, Sarah.
It's definitely acting.
Yes.
Richard, would you like to rule anyone out?
Yeah, I would rule out Lee, I think.
OK. Well, I mean, that's very easy then. If you're ruling out Sarah and you're ruling out Lee, I'll rule out Chris and we can move on.
It is time to make a decision.
So you think... OK, Sarah.
It's Sarah.
I'm
OK, you're saying it's Sarah.
Sarah.
You're saying it's Sarah. Good man.
I'll be so unhappy if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, Christmas is over.
OK, they're saying that it's Sarah. Dennis, would you please reveal your true identity?
Yes, I'm Dennis, and Chris and I staged the burglary together.
Yes, Dennis is Chris's burglary buddy. Thank you very much, Dennis. Thank you.
Just say that one more time.
Chris and I staged the burglary together.
He has got quite a squeaky voice, hasn't he?
Thanks very much, Dennis. Please welcome this week's special guest, Dennis. So, Chris, what is Dennis to you?
This is Dennis. We once staged a burglary to cover up for the fact that we'd been bunking off school.
Sarah, how do you know Dennis?
This is Dennis. He's the park gardener who came to my aid when my legs turned to jelly mid-run.
And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Dennis?
This is Dennis, or as I call him, Squeaky Diesel. I always fill up at his petrol station because his unbelievably high-pitched voice always cheers me up.
So there we have it. Is Dennis Chris's burglary buddy, Sarah's gardening angel, or Lee's falsetto friend? David's team, where would you like to start?
So